So I am here with Rivy.
Hi.
Yay! And I wanted to talk to her today specifically on Unbounded because I think you have an amazing story of like what you do. And even before we started recording, like everything that you were telling me, I was like, this girl is so organized. And I think the people listening to this or watching this can get so much from you. So I'll let you introduce yourself. What is your name? What do you do?
Mm-hmm. My name is Rivy-Major Oponda, and I am a co-founder, creative director of the Boys Co. Mochi Bakery. Also a co-founder, marketing director of Little Daydream, which is a social creative agency.
Oh my God.
So those are my two main. And what's on pause right now is my little sticker shop.
Okay.
It's Little Prince.
It's Little Prince. And are you going to get into that this year?
That's my goal for this year.
Okay,
to bring it back. Started that in 2020 through 2021. And then when the boys started getting busier and more in demand, I had to like put that on pause.
Yeah. Talk to us about what the Boys is. This is actually how I met Rivy.
Yes, that's how I met her as well.
Through this.
Through Mochi.
The Mochi cookies is how I met you at the, Queen's Pop-Up Shop.
Queen's Pop-Up Shop, which was like about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's 2 years ago since I last saw you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So talk to us about the Boys Co., what y'all do, where you're located, or all your locations. We'll go through that. And then I want you to also touch on your other businesses too.
Okay. So the Boys Co. is a Filipino-owned mochi bakery. Kurt and I co-owned it and co-founded it in 2019. It started off with just us playing with mochi in the kitchen.
Oh, I like 2019, y'all were just playing.
2019 is playing, and also it's initially Kurt. Kurt is the main chef. He played with the idea of because at that time in 2019, it was popular of the mochi donuts, the ponderings.
Yes, yep.
Like the little circles.
Yep. Love those.
The little balls that form into a circle.
Yeah.
So he was like, how can I do this without it looking the same as everybody else? So he came up with the idea of doing mochi donut ball.
Yeah.
So think of like Dunkin' Donuts munchkins.
Yes.
But with mochi.
Yeah.
Which makes the end product gluten-free. And that's our first ever product. And we did 3 pop-ups with that product.
Wow.
And it was great. It was like the mochi donuts. We pair it with ice cream. Yeah. So that's like the only thing we were selling at the time.
Wow.
In those first 3 pop-ups. That was in 2019.
How did you figure out did you want to do it with the intention of going into a pop-up? Or like, what was your thought process?
I think we were like, okay, we have this product and what to do with it.
Okay.
And at that time, we were really active in this Facebook group called ACN. It's Asian Creative Network.
Yeah.
Here in New York.
Yeah.
And they were creating like pop-ups.
Oh,
so that's
beautiful.
where we participated in for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then when you did it, what was that like doing that first pop-up? And how did that lead to, I guess, where you are now?
It's a lot. It's a lot of like reconfiguration of how you want to be perceived, and always looking at the flow in a guest perspective.
Yeah.
And in the flow as an employee perspective. So a lot of it changed
y'all were
from
looking at that at the very beginning already.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So we did our first one first, and definitely did not go smooth as we wanted it.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like self-criticism from there.
Yeah.
And we tried to make it better. So like our branding changed a lot from that first one.
Yeah.
In 2020, we did 2 more pop-ups in the beginning. And then when COVID hit, we stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got quiet because the world got quiet. During that time though, during COVID, Kurt and I were quarantining together already. And we just had all these ingredients and products. And I was like, okay, restaurants are doing outdoor dining.
Yeah.
Let's also come back, but let's come out with a new product. because we've been
Wow.
quiet for so long. It's the marketing in me that was just
Yeah.
like, okay, we gotta.
Is this natural? Because I just hear like as you're telling the story, you have like all these new ideas, things to make it better. Has that
Yeah.
always been you, or is this like something that had to develop?
I think it's definitely always been with me.
Mhm.
So backtracking.
Yeah.
So as a Filipino who grew up in Hong Kong.
Okay, another new thing. I love learning new things about you. This is amazing.
So Filipina growing up in Hong Kong, my dad also is a Filipino that grew up in Hong Kong, and he and I are very similar in the sense of like perfectionism.
Yeah.
And as Asians,
Yeah.
we get our perfectionism level is pretty high.
Yeah.
Our anxiety is also pretty
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
So with that being said, as a Filipino growing up in Hong Kong, at the time, my generation, the only path of career at the time was in hospitality.
That's right.
In restaurant world.
Yeah.
So that was my first job.
Okay.
So my first job was in the restaurant world, in hotel lobby,
Okay.
help opening restaurants. Yeah. So
Mm.
I've been in the restaurant world for over 10 years.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is all starting to make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from there, it's like flowing into like guest relations, so customer service, the outlook of the brand. That's what I've
Yeah.
always done for other restaurants and
Yeah.
businesses. So this kind of came naturally for the boys
Yeah.
and my other businesses.
Mhm.
I guess it's a good and bad thing
Yeah.
that I've been battling with of like, I care what other people think.
Yeah.
It's a good and bad thing. It's good because that's
love
the
that.
marketing in me.
Yeah.
I have to care what other people think. I have to care how other people perceive my
Yeah.
businesses
Yeah.
and like the customer side of things. But a lot of time that leads to like procrastination.
Yeah.
Because it's like
How do you deal with that?
I'm still dealing with it.
I think they would love to hear that because I think a lot of people deal with, especially like you said, like within a lot of the Asian culture, just because there's a lot of pressure to do well.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Because I find myself going through that too, with the procrastination where I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
I'm still struggling with it, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I get a client that's like not like, let's say they express that they're not happy. My anxiety shoots up and I'm just like, why? Like what?
Yeah.
Like obviously, but I can't really show the client that this is how I'm feeling because
Yeah.
that's unprofessional.
Yeah.
But me being me is like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? What could
Okay.
possibly go wrong? And then I start creating a narrative in my head.
Yep.
And because I create a narrative in my head, but I guess, I don't know, 50-50, I'm right.
Yeah.
Of the narrative. I guess, I don't know if it's the woman in me. I don't want to put any label on that. But 50-50, I'm right about like a vibe of something, a vibe that like,
I do like that you have that gut intuition. Yeah. Which I think is important.
I think it comes with age too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does help me though is being surrounded by the right people though.
Okay.
Like being surrounded by the right people that we can openly talk to, that like, hey, I'm in a rut. Hey, my anxiety is really high with this client right now.
Yeah.
And that has been very helpful. And with
That's
time,
amazing.
you know, because the people that you work with, they also have to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's hard, and that's the Asian in us, for us to always show that this is easy, this is fine.
Yeah.
We can do this.
Yeah, we have this
seamlessly.
Yeah.
Right? Because that, like, if you go to Asia, they give like the top customer service.
Yeah.
If you go to a hotel, they don't show you that they're tired. They don't show you that, oh, I worked like a 15-hour shift.
Yeah.
And that's kind of embedded in me. But this is me also like also it's a benefit of like living here in America is to open up more.
Yeah.
Talk about your feelings more.
Yeah.
Which is not something we often do.
Yeah. We're not raised in that environment to
No.
even know what
But
it looks like.
This is the crazy thing. My family and I are very tight.
Yeah.
We're very like besties.
That's
like
amazing.
we talk about everything. Yeah.
How did that happen?
I'd say it started with, I don't want to say it started with one or the other.
Yeah.
They watched this and they're like, definitely started with my mom being like very open. Do you watch Gilmore Girls?
A long time ago. I can't even remember, but yes.
But
I
the
know
closeness that Lorelai and Rory had reminds me so much of me and my mom.
Oh.
Yeah. So much
That's
of me and my
beautiful.
mom. But my mom is a little more, how to say, very like, keep her straight
Yeah.
kind of woman.
Yeah.
But she's also very down to earth. We would drink back then when we were drinking.
That's amazing.
She would like me to, she's one who pushed me to work in the hospitality industry because before she was a hotel manager, like food and beverage hotel manager. So that was like her life.
Yeah.
And that's what also kind of led me to like, okay, this might be the path for me to follow my mom.
Yeah.
So that's my mom. And my dad, in the beginning, we have like a very weird relationship.
Yeah.
Where, how to say, there's like a saying, like you love hard, but you fight harder. Because you love and you care each other so much that when you come into a disagreement, you disagree like wholeheartedly. Yeah. And it becomes like a huge like debate and a huge dispute. Yeah. But that's my dad and I. Okay. And like a lot of my friends, after they meet my dad, they're like, oh, I see where like the masculine energy comes from. And it's definitely like from my dad. So my dad is very, he's a hard-headed man. Yeah. But he's very passionate. Yeah. And the thing that we always agree on is music. So my dad, in Hong Kong, growing up, he is the second generation of musicians, Filipino musicians. Oh, wow. In Hong Kong, which is at his time, the option if you're not a domestic helper. Like during his time, him and my grandparents' time, it's like either you're a domestic helper in Hong Kong or you're a musician. Musician was like a new career thing for Filipinos. Okay. So that's what Chinese people would like view as like, oh, you're Filipino, you're either a musician or a domestic helper. Yeah. And then now with my generation today is you either work in restaurants, you're a domestic helper, musician, or now a teacher. Yeah. Okay. Teacher is like the new. Teacher is a new route. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Wow. Yeah. So those are my parents. Okay.
And how have they been like with you developing all of this? And do they live here?
They live here now. Cool. They live here now. Yeah, they moved here in 2021. Okay, amazing. I did have to go through 4 long years of petitioning them. Very painful process. I had to apply a lot of people 3 times
about that process.
Yeah, okay. That's definitely like the first grown-up thing I've done. Aww. Like when I came here, it was very difficult. Like that time. Like, I don't know why, but government websites are so trash. Yeah. It's so confusing. It's so laggy.
Sometimes I was like, am I the stupid one here? Or I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah, like, do they not have the budget to like get a website developer, an actual website developer to make your interface user-friendly? Yeah, like, why is that so hard to do? Yeah, exactly. Like, you're taking all our tax money. Like, why can't you make our life easier? Yes, yeah. Yeah, so when I first moved here is 2015. And I put myself in college, but at the same time, put myself working. Okay. And I worked for 11 Madison Park.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was my first American job.
Okay, like y'all, if y'all don't know, this is like the highest. This is the highest form that you can get into. So you went into luxury, like high end.
I was recommended. So my last job in Hong Kong before moving here is called Aberdeen Street Social. Yeah. And the main chef is Chef Jason Atherton, who was like a partner or a co-chef of Gordon Ramsay. Wow. Yeah. And I helped open that restaurant. Okay. Aberdeen Street Social. Yeah. And I was in the guest relations part. Okay, gotcha. And so when the GM found out that I was moving and aiming to move here to New York, he was like, I'm gonna recommend you. That's amazing. He was like, I wish you don't go, but I'm gonna recommend you. That's amazing. So he recommended me to Love Madison Park with the general manager. That was his friend, the general manager at the time. And I was with them from 2015 through 2017. Wow. We were from number 3 in the world to number 1. So I was there to witness like the victory party. Yeah.
And what was your role in that? Because I feel like it all ties into this.
Yeah. So it started out as a host and then guest relations. Yep. Yeah. I was in the guest relations, receptionist. And then I also dabbled into a new position. Like it was like a new kind of position with them as a dream weaver. Yeah. And with that, I got to play with my artistic side. So you've heard of 11 Park?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I love, wait, hold on. They have this role called the Dream Weaver.
The Dreamweaver, yeah. I don't know if they're the first one, but
should have
a
this.
Dreamweaver.
Yeah.
So the concept of a Dreamweaver, because when you go to EMP, Madison Park, it's such a like expensive place that most likely if you come in, you're celebrating something.
Yes, absolutely.
So like 50% of the time is celebrating anniversary, or 50% of the time is celebrating a birthday and like, you know, other miscellaneous celebrations. So my job as a Dreamweaver is to work closely with the maitre d'. To work closely with the maitre d'. Maitre d' is the person who needs to know everybody who is coming in, like what are they celebrating.
Wow.
Do a little like stalker mode and like look them up on Facebook, what they look like. So the moment they come in, just to every single detail.
Yes.
And that's what I learned from EMP is to really look into detail and look further into detail.
I love that.
It's like,
it's really called, it goes beyond research. It's like you're diving way deep into someone's personal life now to create or curate this experience that can be like the best thing that they've ever experienced in their life, especially going to this place. To eat.
One of, I think, few of my favorite projects that I did. So for example, a couple came in and they said, oh, we were about to go to Hawaii, but we got accepted, or like they were waitlisted for the specific day that they wanted to celebrate an anniversary. So they canceled their trip to Hawaii and came and dined in. And they shared this with the captain. And the captain would tell me like, Rivy, they were supposed to go to Hawaii, but they're here with us. Like, what can we do? So I would run to an art store and would create like little lays, do a little like luau vibe. So what they did was the captain would bring them and we do a little kitchen tour. That's another like experience is having a kitchen tour.
Amazing.
So picking up the guests and then walk them through the dining room, through the kitchen, show everybody what, you know, like what they're doing.
Such a beautiful choreography.
And then the pastry team would do like a little sweets as like they are able to talk with the chef, or if they're lucky, the owner, at the time, Will Gadera or Chef Daniel Hume, that they would be able to like talk to or ask a few questions. And that's like also a moment for the guests to like fangirl and be like, oh my gosh. And then as they're done, they will bring them back to the table. And that's like the little window I have to set up their table.
Right.
And so when they come back, it's like a little luau. And they had the greatest time.
That's so
that is my job as a Dreamweaver, is to make stuff happen, enhancing their
I love that.
Their experience.
And
more.
I feel like you're doing it right now with the Boys Co.
I try to.
And how are you looking at that with the companies? Actually, tell us about the other three or all three that you're doing. So how are you looking at this company? How are you looking at your agency? And how are you looking at your sticker shop? And that client or that customer experience? So from my 10 years of, restaurant experiences, customer service goes a long way. It does go a long, long way. I think that's what our brand stands out. Like if we talk about the boys, we talk about how we try to be as down to earth as much as we can. Absolutely.
We celebrate our victories and like the milestones, but we also share like when we're having a hard time. And I feel like a lot of our customers resonate with us about that. So like if they're in line, they don't mind being in line because, or I hope that they don't mind being in line because, we bust our butts off to like create this. And pastry, like desserts, is such a what's the word? It's the most labor intensive field.
Yes.
I wouldn't say most, but it's one of the most labor intensive field, especially the ones that we're known for, mochi filled cookies. And mochi filled cookies, that's the product that we started in 2020.
Okay.
So if it wasn't for COVID, if it wasn't like a pandemic, I don't think we'll be able to come up with the mochi filled cookies. Because it's literally us playing with like cookie dough and trying different kinds of cookie dough. And then with the mochi, ingredients that we had, that's how we came up with mochi filled cookies. And this is
Okay.
now what we are known for.
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing.
where was I?
Oh yeah. Talking about mochi and like the client experience with that.
Yes.
And,
yeah. So like that's why I also love social media, because now we're able to show what we do.
Yeah.
Versus like, let's say we didn't have a social media and then you just have a storefront. Nobody knows the hardship that goes behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it as I'm talking to you, I think that's the beauty of doing kitchen tours at 11 Madison Park, is to show people that there are real people in the back.
Making
like
things.
Showing, oh, this is like, and I may be over exaggerating, but it's probably like 30 people in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they are able to see that.
Yeah.
And how difficult it is to like do your job cooking while keeping the kitchen clean.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Keeping it clean, keeping it organized, and making sure all the orders are fired in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Because I think we have 35 tables.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it's a tasting menu, so everybody's getting like a similar thing at the same time. And if you're late or like, all these small stuff matters.
Yeah.
But nobody really sees that unless you work in the restaurant world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is like the peek behind the curtains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think as you're talking about that, and I think as in the last like 5 to 10 years, people have shifted over because everything is so robotic now and mass produced.
Yes.
Like cookies are mass produced.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I think because of COVID or around that time, people are like, wait, but I want something that is created from someone.
Yes.
With that work and that energy that moves in. And I'm willing to pay for that instead of like this hyper mass production of things.
Yes.
So we're moving in that direction.
Yep.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're talking about that experience, talk to me a little bit about the creative agency.
Yeah, so social creative agency, Little Daydream. AJ Lavilla and I started this in 2021, 2022.
Wait, the name? Who was the person?
AJ Lavilla.
Oh, AJ Lavilla.
Yeah, so he has a brand for himself as well, and that's kind of how we connected. Is that we got close through, how there's like a lot of like Filipino pop-up and then like the Filipino community is pretty small.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to like, oh, I need a mural artist. I need a graphic designer. I need somebody. I need a mochi cookies.
Yeah.
We kind of like have our own directory.
Yeah. No, y'all do.
Because,
you're so well connected.
It's so small. The group is pretty small. So that's how I met AJ Lavilla, is through like the Project Barcada world. Okay. And I was always in awe of what he do. Like he does a little bit of like making apparels, and then he does mural. Okay. And he does like gallery shows of his art. It's pretty cool what he does. And on top of that, he's also good with his social media.
Amazing. Yeah.
And so after getting to know each other, he found out that I dabble into like social media management for other people before by myself. But it wasn't very like, it wasn't really a job at the time.
Right.
It was more of like it didn't pay very well. So I didn't do it for very long.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, I didn't know that you used to do that. That makes sense why the boys is blah, 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 blah. I mean, I still feel that like the boys still need a lot of work. Yeah. And like staying consistent. Yeah. Like consistency really is key with social media now.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's him learning about me, and then he came up with this idea like, hey, yo, like what if we do like a creative agency together? Yeah. Like what does that look like? Yeah. So in the first year we did I think it was in 2021. So in 2022, we did a lot of like recap reels for small businesses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of like, let's say your brand was at a pop-up at a market and it was busy, we would capture that. Yeah. And then we would create like a recap to show like how busy it was, how fun it was, like you sold out, like the hype of it. Yeah. And that's the deliverable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we did in the year of 2022. 2022.
Mm-hmm,
And then last year, 2023, it feels so weird to say 2023 is last year.
Right. Because we're actually filming in 2024.
We dabbled into social media management.
Okay.
Yeah, so social media management, and we currently have 7 clients.
Congratulations. Okay, now that you've gone through talking about the boys, talking about the agency, one more, which is, I know you said the sticker thing.
It's Little Prince, yes.
Yeah. Tell me about what the plans are. But also, my biggest question as you're talking right now is, how the hell are you doing, number one, this, and we're going to show this in a little bit of what this mochi cookie looks like. But how are you managing between the boys, between the agency, and now you're like, in 2024, I'm going to do my sticker shop.
Yeah, I want to bring back my sticker shop.
Yes.
So we're talking about sticker shop?
Yes, let's talk about sticker shop, and then we'll turn it back like, how the fuck are you doing this?
So it's Little Prince. Started in 2020 because I had an iPad, and after like receiving unemployment, like from the COVID money,
just a lot.
I got a Cricut, which I still have to this day.
Yes, right there.
So from there, I was like, and also that time it was very trendy. Like I see it everywhere on TikTok, like how to make this and how to do that. And I was like, okay, let me try.
Yeah.
My background, I'm a fine arts major.
Okay.
I graduated with associate degree. I was supposed to get my bachelor in business marketing.
Yeah.
But I stopped because at the time I was, I was living here by myself and I was like working to feed myself. So, and I was already like going into social media management for bloggers.
Oh, cool.
At that time with like people who are so into WordPress.
Yes,
that
I
time
remember
where that time where it's only about making the photos look good.
Yes.
So that's where I utilized my photography. So those were like my side hustles was doing social media management for bloggers and photography.
Okay, gotcha.
So because I was learning all of this, and in my head, I was like, I think the marketing right now, the marketing style is going to change vastly. Like, I feel like whatever I'm learning from the school is not going to be relevant. Yeah. So that's why I stopped. Yeah, plus, it was getting expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I had to make the hard decision to stop. A part of me still like today still feel like, what if I put myself through school right now? But with the businesses that I have right now, I just need to make sure that they're stable first. And if I do have the budget, I'll go back to school.
Okay.
So that has been on my mind.
Yeah.
So with the sticker shop, I missed art. I missed illustrating. I missed all of this. So I had the idea of at first just making like quote stickers or anime stickers. Yeah. Then I learned about copyright that, Etsy have hired people to like comb through who's doing copyrighted stuff and like put a block in that. Yeah. So I started doing like originals. Yeah. But I'm not that creative in terms of like creating a character or all that. So I did illustrations of like what my toast look like. So I had a little sticker sheet about toasts, like with butter, with strawberries, with like so I have a sticker sheet about toast, which that did well. Yeah. And the other thing that I was doing was
I like the niching of this. I love that you're just like
about food.
Yeah, it's just gonna be we're just gonna do one thing, and I love that focus. Like as you're saying this, I'm like, oh, you're like super narrowly focused.
Oh, my brain goes crazy. Like, but sometimes it's too much and I can't shut it off, which is not good. But I guess in the business perspective, that is good. But from there, I was like, okay, wait, I enjoy doing sticker sheets. Yeah. And so I was looking and I was like, nobody has really made like custom portrait sticker sheets. Oh. So that's what I did. And that got me busy.
Okay.
For like, there was like a girl who wanted to celebrate her birthday, but because of COVID, so she sent me photos of her and I created into a sticker sheet and I sent that to her in bulk. Oh, and then she sent that out.
Oh, shit.
So there was that. There was also a business that was like, oh, I really like your illustrations. She had like a little boutique. And she was like, these are like the 5 top sellers of my apparels. I want to include this in my packaging.
Yeah.
Do you think you can do something about it? So I illustrated all those into sticker sheets as well.
That's amazing.
Another one is I did it also for friends.
Yeah.
Especially like a long meet after like during the COVID. And then when I meet them, that was like my gift for them. Just doing like little sticker sheets.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
I don't know if I have some right now to show you. Wait.
Yeah, let's do it. Hold on.
So these are what my business cards look like. Printed them through.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can see like
That's
how I
awesome.
misprint them because this one is showing just the front.
Oh.
And this is back.
Hey, it's a flippy.
It's a flippy.
Like this is. I don't know if they can
So the
see that.
illustrations that did really well were my jar series. So these are my jar series.
I'm gonna. This is so cool.
So I have those.
Oh my God.
These
are so cute. This is
you.
what you would put in like planners and all that good stuff.
So this one I drew of my best friend when she was pregnant. So those are like my illustration styles. I'm trying to see if I still have an extra sticker sheet. I even have one of horoscope.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a sticker sheet, horoscope.
Okay, this is cute. So cute.
Normally I print extra, but you see I haven't like touched her in a long time.
But you will soon.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't think I have any more extra of the sticker sheet.
I think this is so pretty.
Any more extra, but this is like my illustration of pudding.
Oh my God. So pudding is for cat.
Yeah, I don't think I have any more, but I will bring it back. This is another one, but I took some of the stickers out. This was my collaboration with my good friend Poon. He launched like an apparel plus a mug called Water Your Plants.
Oh,
and it was like a box set, and it came with this sticker sheet that I illustrated.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
I love this. One of the themes that I've heard you talk about is collaboration.
Yes.
I just like how when you're telling your stories, and then I talked to this person and it's really cool.
It's endless.
Yeah.
It's really endless.
What is your relationship to others when it comes to like collaborating? Because it just seems like when you talk to someone, it's like new business.
Yeah.
New business.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great feeling, but with time, because I've been like in this small business industry for going on 5 years now.
Yeah.
It's easy to start a business.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
It's easy to start. It's easy to start when you like have like a ping moment.
Yeah.
But once you really get into the business, it's like by yourself. I guess it's a different story with by yourself because besides the sticker prints, I haven't really like have a business that's just me.
Right.
So I've always partnered with somebody that shares the same vision as me. And that's what's important. Because it's easy. It's easy to start a business with somebody that you click, but it's kind of like forming a relationship. And you have to make sure that it's kind of like something that you guys are striving for and talk about like what's your 5-year plan.
Wow.
About that
It's
business.
like very far ahead.
Yes. And that's like a saying my dad has taught me growing up. It's
that's
like,
great advice.
Like always think 10 steps ahead. Always think 15. Sometimes it's bad. Like I'm not going to say it's all glitz and glamour of like being ahead. But again, because you're always being ahead, it does create a narrative in your head.
Yeah.
And it leads to something else. But
I think on the positive side.
Yes.
So you know how like people talk about visualization?
Yes.
I found in the business world, they don't call it visualization, but they call it like the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan. But I feel like it's the same energy
concept,
of being like, hey, we're looking ahead, and at least I call it like the North Star. It's kind of like this is kind of, and if we stray from it, it's okay. But at least we have what it is that we're aiming for in the long term. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay. So that you say is the hardest is like to have that long-term plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because with the two businesses, we didn't have that conversation.
Oh,
We didn't have
okay.
that conversation in the beginning. It's kind of
Yeah.
like something we rolled with.
Yeah.
And as you learn, it's like, okay, wait, where do we really want to go with this?
I like this experience coming out. This is wisdom now. This is
Oh.
wisdom. Yeah.
It's because, I mean, nobody really teaches you how to be a small business owner.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all of us in all of like the industry and world that
Yeah.
we're in right now, it's the first time.
Yeah.
I feel like we're first generation in a sense because no one really tells you
Yeah.
how hard it is. No one really tells you like
Yeah.
how to organize the financial aspect
Yeah.
of it. How much percentage goes to labor? How much percentage goes to you? How much percentage goes to
Yeah.
packaging?
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
And it's different from
It's like a math game.
it's
It is a math game. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very different. And then the tax. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about
Yeah.
tax. But
Yeah. I'm sure you have a really great accountant.
but it's also like a very different experience when, let's say, you and I are in a business and then we figure out the financial, we got a groove.
Yeah.
Now your business is expanding. Now you need to hire people.
Yeah.
That financial percentage changes
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
It changes a lot. And it's either you have to bite that cut or you have to
Yeah.
increase your pricing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what we learned. But yeah, I would definitely say like if someone is starting a business or if I were to start another business
Mhm.
with somebody, it's definitely like, what is the 5-year plan?
I love that.
Because
Yeah.
because if it's temporary, that's just a collaboration. That's not really a business. That's just a collaboration idea.
Yeah.
That's a pop-up idea.
Yeah.
But if you're really like looking for a business and you want your business to flourish, you want your
Yeah.
business to have a goal, what is that goal
Yeah.
for the next 5 years or
Yeah.
even 10 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Do you think so I know when you first started with the boys, do you think that time when you were doing that initial pop-up, that was more research, that was
Definitely.
a collaboration, and then from there you're like, we got something now, well, let's do the 5-year plan? Is that something that you would recommend of like, I guess, testing?
Yeah.
And then
If we didn't have 2020, like that little lull
Mhm.
time,
yeah.
definitely 2019 through 2021
Mm-hmm.
was, or even 2022
Yeah.
was like the research years.
Yeah.
And
Y'all hear that? Research years.
Because like and I'm sure it's different for everybody, but
Mhm.
as like a small business owner that's in the food industry, food world, or like dessert world,
Yeah.
not every pop-up is busy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you also have to expect not every pop-up is busy and not every pop-up you're gonna sell out.
Yeah.
Even though that's your goal or whatever. But it's just the research part is figuring out what type of service works for you.
Yeah.
So for me as a dessert brand, is it catering? Is it local
Yeah.
deliveries? Is it nationwide shipping?
Yeah.
Is it doing pop-ups? If so, pop-ups, that's another like list of categories. What kind of pop-ups?
Yeah.
The small kinds, the big ones,
Yep.
Smorgasburg,
Yep.
Japan Fest, or the holiday market.
Yeah.
And that's something that we dabble into, like, all those years from
Mhm.
2019 through 2022.
Mm-hmm.
2013, 2020,
2023? Yeah.
2022. So 2023, last
Oh, yeah.
year, is kind of us. We now pick and choose
Amazing.
the market that we do. So it's like refining more. And then this year, we're refining it even more. And we've decided that we're just going to be a holiday market concept.
I love. Okay, so wait, so 20. That's like a 3-4 years already in the making.
Yeah.
It's not overnight. I think I try to tell people that where I was like,
Yeah.
y'all, it's like this constant. And
It's growing pains.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of growing pains. I mean,
Yeah.
like in life, there's a lot of
Yeah.
growing pains, but in a business, a lot of growing pains. And if you have a business partner, it's a lot of growing pains together because you have to learn what the other person is good at.
Yeah.
And you have to have this person learn what you're good at.
Yeah.
And there's definitely going to be like personality crashing.
Yeah.
And like skills crashing. But it's really like, how do you move on from here?
I love that. Okay.
Every time you clash, it's like, how do you move on from here? Do we stop? Because we're clashing?
Mm.
Do we stop? Do we just stop everything?
Yeah.
So that our relationship doesn't like be dented even more? Or how do we move on from here?
Yeah.
So that's always, so it's kind of like a relationship.
Yeah, it is.
So like I have with Kurt, who is actually my boyfriend, and I have one with AJ, which has become one of my good friends.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a lot of relationships to be navigating.
But it's like, so this comes back to like, if you want to form a new business with another person, it's like, how?
Yeah.
Right? It sounds great right now. The idea is great.
Yeah.
But what does that entail? How long is this going to be?
I think that's been my fear of like having a business partner. I was like, I don't want to navigate that right now.
Definitely. I'm very big into energies.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like who you're vibing with.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so funny because Kurt and I, we started the business as business partners. And we didn't get into a relationship till COVID hit because we ended up being quarantined together.
That way, I didn't even know that's how. That's another conversation. I love that though.
But
like, okay,
but that's how it is. Like because I'm very big into like energy.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, our energy matches so well.
That's
that
good.
We ended up being in a relationship, and here we are, like living in together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was even funny, like how I wanted to talk to him. He just like scurried out. He's like, no.
Yeah.
And you're the one that's like the more facing of the company.
I'm more of an extrovert.
Yeah.
But sometimes introvert.
Yeah.
But he's all the way introvert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's very complimentary. Okay. So we have all of that. And then I wanted, how do you balance all of this for yourself? Like to be sane, to have all these things going on. How do you look at your day to day? How do you look at your week? Like, how do you keep it all together as best as you can?
I think, and I'm still learning about this. Like, I love planners since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So planning and organizing is definitely one of my strong suit. I love Google Suites, like everything Google.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Definitely learning to delegate. So in the past year, with both the Daydream and the Boys Co, we do have part-timers.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes. So, and especially with Little Daydream, since it's more remote, I love this, that I have the ability to hire in the Philippines. So that's one of the things that I'm pretty proud of, is that I'm able to give back and help somebody in the Philippines. Because like the currency of dollar to the Philippines is huge.
Yeah, it is.
And like, let's say $3 to $5 an hour, to them, that's huge.
Yeah.
But here it's not that much. That's not a livable wage here.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
You know, if I can, why not?
Yeah.
And it's back to like my home country that I've only recently started to feel more in tune with.
Yeah.
Because I never grew up in the Philippines.
Yeah.
But I'm very well versed in my culture.
Yeah.
Because the Filipino community in Hong Kong is pretty big too.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm able to
so third culture.
Learn Tagalog, learn English, and learn Cantonese all at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah. So so able to delegate. And then with the boys, that definitely like is the most labor intensive. So we hire a lot of part-timers. In the beginning, it was a lot of our relatives that was helping us.
That's family comes into play.
Yeah. So learning to delegate, that's me and Kurt's biggest learning curve.
Yeah.
Is learning to delegate. So that's how we're able to do most of the stuff.
Okay.
And then what else? I think that's the big one.
That's the big, learning how to delegate, being organized, use Google Suites.
Oh, and making sure that your comfort world is good.
Tell me more about that.
I learned this. Oh, I'm going to get teary.
It's okay. Take your time.
In the beginning, when my parents first moved here, one would think that, very, very happy and it just clicked. Yeah. It didn't click. We weren't ever like that. Yeah. Because we were so close besties that yeah. It's whatever. It's family. Yeah. But it didn't feel like that to me in the beginning. And there was a lot of I guess, awkward phases when they were learning more about my life.
Okay.
How I cook, how I clean the apartment,
Yeah.
how they had a lot of like nitpicking,
Yeah.
which was new to me from them.
Right, because you've never experienced this.
But in my head was like, I've never experienced, they've never seen me be adult.
Yeah.
Because even when I was like working full time, I was still living under their roof.
Yeah.
Now it's like they're under my roof.
Yes. That
so
you
it's a weird energy, like how to
switch.
channel that.
Yeah.
So I was struggling on how to bring that closeness back.
Yeah.
And I think it's just from being open.
Yeah.
Like we're already open, but being more open.
Yeah.
So telling them that I felt that way.
Yeah.
And telling them that, about the boys, how like tiring it is, how stressful it is.
Yeah.
Because they weren't the typical Filipino parents that were like, oh, you should do nursing. They never really told me what to do, what I should do. But I've always given them the idea that I want to be interior designer or an architect, like something in the art world.
Yeah.
But no one ever think that, like, I don't think anyone would be like, I'm going to grow up to be a small business owner.
Yeah,
like,
no one actually says that. Yeah.
That's not a thing yet.
Yeah.
Or like to be a baker.
Yeah. Now it's like the kids are saying, I want to be an influencer. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So after like being a little closer to them in 2022, so 2021 was rough. 2022, kind of getting there, but not that much. Like I didn't really get to spend that much time with them because the boys was extremely busy.
Yeah. I remember that year y'all did
like every weekend packed with like 2, 3 pop-ups. So I rarely see them.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after the first holiday market that I was like, damn, I didn't get to spend Christmas with my parents. And Christmas is kind of like a big, I don't know, like now I'm thinking like, was it really a big thing? But we definitely were like together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in Hong Kong, it's so easy to go out.
Yes.
Right? It's so easy to just like go to a restaurant, go to a dim sum spot, go here and there because it was affordable. But here it's expensive. Like the moment you step foot into the city, you're already spending $100.
100 at least.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
And it's like, who really has $100 to spend? And it's like, you actually spend it, but it's also like, damn.
Yeah.
But in Hong Kong, it's not like that.
Right.
Right? Like to have a good time, there's like a cheaper way to do it.
Yes.
But here it's like, I don't know, it's just very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's where my parents are having a little bit of culture shock, is that you can't always just eat outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And food deliveries is something new for them too.
Yes.
So they're not used to like ordering on Seamless and then but anyways, that definitely pushed my parents to cook more at home.
Okay.
So in 2023, so that was 20, so 2023, I told them, I was like, I want to do a family day once a week.
Yes.
And oh no, I'm crying. But this had made me happier.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't know I needed it.
Yeah.
But 2023 is a lot of like growing pains, a lot of like realization about like where the business is going.
Yeah.
Another like thing about like making sure that your comfort world is secured.
Yeah.
So like after establishing family day with my family, with my parents, and keeping up to do that every week. Even if it's just like a lunch or a dinner.
Yeah.
It was also like securing my relationship with Kurt.
Yeah. I'm crying too. It's okay.
Having a business partner that's your life partner is hard.
Yeah.
I'm normally good about like, work is work.
Yep.
And then friendship is friendship, because all of like my restaurant industry years, like you eventually have friends. from that workplace. But they also understand when it's work mode, when you're when you clock in.
Yeah.
There's no like, if I have
We're
to tell you
coworkers
off
now. Yeah.
about something, it's work.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
Not people understand that.
Yeah.
Like your employees,
Yeah.
business partner, they have different concept and perspective of things. So a lot of times, like, you know, it's a struggle when that, like, let's say a customer had a comment or a remark, and then we look into it and we both like get something out of it completely different, and that turns into dispute. And then you bring that dispute home.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds silly, but like when you're in the moment and it's something with your business, especially like me with the perfectionism,
Yeah.
it's hard to keep that outside
Yeah.
our apartment, especially like our work, our like desks are here.
They're both here.
Yeah.
We all see that. Yeah.
So a lot of times we would say, like, if we're in this area, then we talk about work. And if we're in this area, it's just us.
Yes. I love I know it sounds weird, but the division of like sections.
We try.
Yeah. No, I think it's such a great idea in terms of like keeping those two things like separated out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't perfected it. We're still learning from it. But yeah, making sure that, you know, my family is good. We're good. No ill feeling or weird feeling anymore.
Yeah.
Same with Kurt. And then like my fur babies are healthy.
Yes.
That is what keeps me motivated to do my business and stay organized.
I actually love that you ended with that right there, the comfort world. Because again, when I look at energy and when I look at like, especially everything that you do, that is one of your like recharge.
Yes.
That's like how you get that. All right, I'm ready to take on the world now, and I'm ready to do really cool things with my business. And I love that. Yay!
Yay!
Well, thank you so much. We're going to go into the cookies.
Yes.
How can people find you? How can they work with you? How can they buy your stuff? Where can they buy? Also, they're everywhere, y'all. So we'll go with this first. And how do we find you?
So we do local deliveries through Chef. Chef has been an amazing platform for us small businesses.
Yeah.
You can pre-order on the website.
Yay!
And it's like you can do it ahead of time. And we have different items. We're actually putting new items that we developed during the holiday market. We're adding that to our local deliveries.
I love this.
We also do nationwide shipping. We ship our cookies frozen.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
The furthest one we ship to is Hawaii.
Y'all can get this in your home.
Yeah. And then we do wholesales as well. We have about 10 to 11 wholesale partners here in New York.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And then we have them always updated and listed and pinned on our Instagram.
Okay. What is your Instagram for this?
It's at the boys, BOIIS CO.
Nice. Okay. So that's where you can find the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about your agency. Where can they find you there? And also your sticker shop or future sticker shop.
Yeah. So Little Daydream, if you have, we can do like free consultation about any issues or how you want to expand or better your social media presence. You can email us or message us at Little Daydream. So LIL Daydream .nyc. That's on Instagram. And I am launching my sticker shop back very soon. I don't know when yet. But I am currently designing a few sticker sheets right now.
Yay! Okay, cool. And then where are you going to announce it on your social media? Or
on my personal, that's where I would like to showcase a little bit of everything.
Okay.
And it's called It's Little Rivy.
Cool. And how do you spell that?
ITSLITTLE Rivy RIVY.
Yay! Thank you so much for taking the time out of your super busy day. I'm like, oh my God, this girl has so much to do.
Oh, but this was really nice.
Yay.
I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and see me cry.
No, it's my pleasure. Actually, I'm gonna do a shot where I'm gonna try one of these.
Yes, do a
But you
mochi
have
pool.
she has pretty nails. I don't have pretty nails. So I'm gonna have you do it instead. Yay. So this is right. All right.
So we have here matcha with ube mochi filling, ube with ube mochi filling, salted caramel with caramel mochi filling,
Wow.
and pandan with caramel mochi filling.
Oh, I love that you have pandan.
We'll do the matcha.
Okay.
It looks good on camera.
And her nails are beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Shout out to Claws and Tits.
Okay, yes.
Where Bonnie and I get our nails done.
Yes. Actually, yeah, we're gonna link them. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So just do a crack and then I don't think it's going. There you go.
Oh, that's so pretty. I'm gonna get. Y'all listen to this.
Flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It takes